Kel says is the same. I can relate to Kel what he's saying
No, you
because we
can't,
have the
brother.
same
No, you
extremism.
can't,
Yeah,
brother.
I can,
But
Kel, because
here's
the
what you gotta
reason
understand,
is
brother. Hold on,
because the
brother.
same
Here's what you gotta
extremists in
understand.
our community
Brother,
do the same thing. They do the
hold
same
on,
thing,
brother. Hold on,
Kel,
brother. Hold on. Here's what
and
you
they
gotta
don't
understand,
have
brother.
no.
I keep telling you, non-African people, every single time I've told you in person and I've told you online.
You got this big Discord channel, this secret channel where
Hold on. I am from the Sun people, brother. I am not
you keep
mountain.
saying that,
I'm not high,
but
and
you
I'm
need
not
to
sand.
tell
We
us.
don't think the same. We don't even look the same. We don't have the same. But hold on, brother. Let me finish.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Okay. So what you keep
Your
telling
ideology.
Hold on.
Same as ISIS. Your ideology is the same as ISIS.
Brother Shifa,
you are ISIS of Africa.
Let him finish, Ray.
Let me break down. Let me break down the political side.
Man, yo. One at a time.
Yeah, go on.
Let me break down the political side. You see, whenever non-African people, their code of conduct is being tampered with.
This is the same thing that ISIS would say.
Hold on.
You gotta mute him, Zelina.
Blame the other people.
Ray, 1 second, let him land.
Hey, Kel, please, can you keep it to like a minute or like 3 minutes?
It's going to be difficult for them whenever their code of conduct is being under attack, right? And dismantled. They become very emotional. They start saying abnormal, weird things, right? Because they understand that science of political science is unraveling their foolish code of conduct, which black people, if they ever connected, can destroy like that. That's why he's behaving that way.
But yet he can't answer a simple question. Are you going to police your own community? Well, you can point fingers at everyone else. This is the exact same thing that ISIS does, and every extremist group that do. Yeah. Why?
To be honest, he did answer the question though. Like even I heard the answer at the end still, but he did answer that question there still. But sir, apologies.
The thing is as well.
Can we ask you a question now?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question now? What's this guy's name?
That's Ray. Ray, go ahead.
Ray, can I ask you a question, Ray?
No, you cannot. I want to.
Don't do no moves with Born Rich. So.
Ray, can I ask you a question, or do you want to keep or not?
Before you ask the question, can I just say, anywhere in the world where we are go, we not like police.
I definitely don't. And I just say something to humble KO a piece. Marcus Garvey does say one thing, like he does say to have a global mindset. And what I take from that is man can't just be echo chambered in and amongst man's community. Man has to understand what going outside and be able to operate outside to be able to bring resources inside. So I don't know.
None of you not know the real game that's being played against you.
Explain that, Nate.
But he said, put it like this, I'm a black man. I'm a black.
Don't know what's being played against you.
He said temporary coalitions with non-Africans, not permanent. He did say that.
Yeah.
I didn't even. What was that?
He said, "Well, you can't hear me."
No, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, he said temporary coalitions with non-Africans, not permanent. Kel said that. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, no, I heard you.
Yeah.
So what you think about that, Nate? Is that feasible for black people? No? What are y'all saying? Because I say, I guess I agree with that, but I still really feel like no coalitions, no alliances. We don't need no friends. We don't. Because then you'll get people like Ray that'll come around and say, hey, I don't fuck with y'all because y'all don't allow me in. It's like, no, fuck you. We don't allow you in.
Yeah.
This is salute mine, fuck yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I'm to be honest, because you are, I don't know, I heard a bagger talking in it. So when you asked me flipping, like, Yeah. So my answer to you, Born, because I didn't even hear what Kel said. I didn't understand what he said. But no coalition, I can feel that fully. And when I'm saying man have to step outside the box,
He
man.
didn't say no coalition. He said temporary coalition with the non-African, but not permanent.
Most definitely, that's the life we live.
And he said to me, man, fuck you.
At the same time, though, it's like, at the same time, like, otherwise, I don't know, bruv. I'll be real, like, fucking, yeah, the black shit, bruv. I know some very light, pale-skinned people that are doing bits and pieces on the continent, in the continent, and class themselves to be from the continent. So my head's kind of like, yo, I don't know how to even look at these things. That's why I was asking the man them, do you have to be black to be a Pan-African?
Are we doing skin tone though, Nate? Come on, Nate. You smarter than that, brother. We don't do skin tone. We got light-skinned black people, dark-skinned black people. Come on, Nate. We're not doing skin tone.
Very interesting what he's saying.
Yeah,
bloodline,
can I correct you one thing that you said about me? That you said that non-Africans can't join the group. I was saying to Kel, he's not letting Africans join the group because he calls them unsynchronized. It's not about me.
Are you an African? Are you an African, Ray?
No.
So how do you know how Africans? How do you know?
He's clearly said on this panel. He clearly said on this panel that there's certain type of people that I can give that information to.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to give the information to, and that includes Africans and non-Africans.
But it's not true.
Africans and non-Africans. And
He has to watch out for the kings.
Kel, correct
This
me.
is very
Correct me.
Very interesting.
I never asked you to join your Discord. Secret.
Why are you talking about a
Discord
Discord, Ray? Why are you talking about a Discord, brother?
Well, whatever is in the 21st century. Whatever is in the 21st century. Whatever is in the 21st century.
I know, brother, but I don't think the panel.
But Boone, are you part of his Discord? Or are you part of his
I could be, brother. But okay, but even if I am, Ray, let's explain it for the panel and the people that's listening. What is this Discord you're talking about? Break it down for the people, bro. Let's don't be secretive. What is this Discord you're upset about, brother? Because you're obviously upset about Chaos Discord. Let's talk about it, Ray.
No, I'm not upset about any Discord because
you
he's
said
saying
Discord
that
4 times, brother.
My African.
There's obviously
what are we doing?
there's obviously a secret. There's obviously a secret kind of group where Kel has this blueprint that he gives to the people, but no one on this panel knows about it, has heard of it. Even the Africans.
Why is that,
the so-called Africans?
You know what's funny? This reminds me of like a couple years ago with Gang, and everyone was so worried about what Gang was doing and where's the information about them, and you lot should be telling us what's going on. It should be transparent. It's just bare. People have felt like they had.
But at least there should be some answers.
At least, but to be fair, we were definitely willing to talk to some.
Yeah,
definitely were. I don't know. Yeah, because my thing is this: we've had a lot of conversation with Kel, and now finally, not even finally, that sounds wrong. But on an occasion where I feel I want to see some action, because it's been Kel and them have been accused of like being rhetoric gang, but not really being boots on ground gang when stuff happens. So when stuff has happened, like recently, I just wanted to know whether Kel felt it was good to go to the protests, or whether he'd be supporting the protests, or whether he'd be reaching out to the parents, or like just like, you know, like what's their take on this, and when these type of things happen, what does the Pan-African family do? What do they implement, or do they just observe whatever? Can't get nothing from Kel. Can't hear nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, Jedi, like, respect to you. Like, maybe I need to rephrase my words. Forget about the group and stuff. Yeah, it's just simple questions. I think what I'm trying to say is, Kel needs to explain some of the questions that everyone's asking, and he can't answer them.
No, you're only asking.
His response is that there's only certain people that can have that knowledge.
Yes, Ray, it is, right? It's only certain Islamic people. Everybody's not a Muslim, brother. Only certain people can have that knowledge, that Islamic knowledge, brother.
I don't think so.
Shit happens
I'm a
like that,
Muslim.
right?
I'm a Muslim. Everything's available. You can go.
Yes,
You can take
it
anything.
may be. It's
Judaism
available.
to
If you're
Shiism
African, if you're
to
African,
extremism, like whatever you take your fancy, you will find open.
yes.
To be
You see,
fair,
brother Bone. You see, brother Bone. What the problem is, right, is that brother Rehan, brother Rehan and the rest of the non-African people,
Asking
they
the question.
use a strategy. Hold on, they use a strategy called look for black
Yes, there's
people that
a
can use.
strategy. There's definitely a
Hold on,
strategy.
brother.
We
Hold
agree.
on, brother.
Kel, before I came online,
Wait,
before I
Wait,
came
one
online,
second, Rayhan.
Where's your
I
Islamic
noticed. I noticed. 1 second, Kel. I noticed Rayhan. As soon as Kel starts speaking, you think it's like a green light to just interrupt him or speak over him.
sorry.
I know that you're focused on your back and forth with him, and you don't mean to be rude. So just like let him complete. Trust me, if he goes on for too long, we'll stop him and tell him to just shorten his response. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, carry on, Kel.
Now, the non-Africans use a strategy where it's like look for black people that can use to advance their cause. And unfortunately, this is not difficult because most black people identify with their oppressors. I'm going to finish on.
But Kel, what about what Red Pill said to you, Stone? That was a good question.
The thing is that I was on Brother Jedi's show and I explained the strategies how protesting is supposed to be. And I've also explained that there are things that we're trying to do in the pipeline that are in process right now as a collective, that we're trying to get the areas policed in a legal type of way. We're trying
forget that. But we want to know, like, in terms of this incident,
right,
that's happened. What is the Pan-African approach? What's your approach? Your personal approach? What have you taken any steps, or just break it down a little bit? What you would
there were some things going on in Birmingham that we were discussing, trying to sort out. As I said, a lot of it is discussing. At the same time, we are trying to sort out, we're trying to get bodyguards in the community as much as possible.
Yeah. Would you be interested in speaking to the family?
I would be, of course. I would be.
And if you had an audience with the family, what would you say?
I would tell them that the truth, that unfortunately, we are in an epidemic of extermination, and we as a people have to try to formulate a code of conduct to protect our people in the neighborhoods, in the school system. And although it may appear to be far-fetched, but there are a lot of us that are willing to organize and sort this out, and we're trying to do that, Brother Jedi. Revolution never came easy, and we are definitely trying to do that.
Yeah, I
think it has to be the first, like, direct and honest answer that you've given, and I appreciate it. Yeah, you kept it a buck, and that's all it needs to be. So then you can have a conversation. You don't need to say whatever.
But brother, right?
That snippet there. Brother. No, hold on. Right. That snippet there of you just saying how you would approach a situation is what we've been after this whole time. It's nothing to do with you didn't give away any secrets. You didn't give anything to the Sandman or whatever. You just spoke from the heart. Now that's all what I was wanted.
Real talk. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but the thing is, brother, is that we have to be very careful of information that may be appealing to the emotion to satisfy a dopamine that will distract us from what we have to do. And this is what I think where a lot of yous fail to when it comes to. Can I finish what I was saying? I finished what I was saying. Can I finish what I'm saying? Can I finish what I'm saying, though, right? Is that me as a Pan-Africanist, right? I am being very truthful when it comes to my people and stuff, right? You have to be very careful of certain rhetoric that may sound pleasing and nothing's been done. The reason why I talk this way, right? And those who know, I actually is from a community that does work. You see, and I'll be held accountable if I'm not doing any work. My family members do the work. We are connected in many organizations. But if you want to hear certain rhetoric or certain things that's going to be pleasing to the emotion, that's very dishonest. And you should need to, because non-African people do that all the time when they're in a president or a prime minister or to the community. They promise you things and don't do anything. And we as our people, we fall through it. And then we say to ourselves, the dream's going to come. I'm not about that.
Maybe you
I'm not
the
about
intention. Maybe you misunderstood the intention of the conversation.
Yeah, I respect that, bro.
It was purely hypothetical. It wasn't for you to. No one wants rhetoric. Everyone wants sincerity. We want you to just say whatever you think or whatever you feel is right for.
Yeah, we were. It wasn't. No one asked you for a pitch.
Yeah, so that's the difference. I think whatever you've taken it in a different way. It was just to understand your stance.
I definitely can sympathize with him.
Maybe yeah, no, 100%.
Question a lot, and I do recognize the need to just say, you know what, bruv, I ain't got the answers. You know, if that's what you're thinking, like, man, I ain't got all the answers, or because sometimes it's like people like, yeah, because I did say to him, yeah, we're looking up to you, like. You know, like,
we look to you, brother.
What's the next step, bro? Like, what are we doing? So, what are we doing now, Kel? You know that one's there.
Yeah.
And the snipers always said that Kel will fold up in them scenarios. Get me, but I don't know.
I get my power, brother Jedi, from my African family, brother. That's where the real power.
Do you support us protesting, or do you think we should maybe come together and codify and yada 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 before we go out there and protest? Or do you support us in the form that the protests have been so far? Do you think that's a good practice?
Nah, but we have to sit down and keep it regulated and codified, as he says. There has to be, I know this is going to be very scary, but we have to be truthful. Our protesting, it needs to be as a campaigning of gathering the people to understand the blueprint what we've laid down, right? Is that after the protesting, you know, it needs to be what are we demanding for, right? While we're demanding, we need security. It cannot be disorganized. And the fourth thing, which is going to frighten a lot of people, we are not looking to reform the system. We're looking to change it. And this is where it's a problem, because that's real protesting. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be reforming it. Why are we reforming something that can easily be, but again, we have to try and change it, meaning.
I hear you not putting sticky tape on the wound. We're trying to, you know, heal it. New leg, new leg.
And I know it's scary and stuff, right? Because it means doing things that is going to cause, but at the same time, and that and Rayhan needs to understand that I'm for my African people first. Nigeria, Ghana, West Africa, East, South, Central, North, they come before any religion.
Just me, I'm sold.
Anything comes before anything.
Yeah, what about us? You didn't say America, brother.
Not literally, because that would be a poor.
Yeah.
Kel, you sometimes say the loud bit quiet and the quiet bit loud.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you should get those two in reverse.
I was born by the river.
A little nigga lit.
Why would y'all
And just like them niggas, I was running ever since.
Why y'all doing that?
Been a lot of cotton.
You're supposed to ignore it, because you don't ad-lib it, fam. It makes it worse.
Oh, a change gonna come.
No, but Kel's right. Still, people ain't ready for change, and the change is gonna shock them, and it definitely is not no reform the man them is looking for. Still, you get me? I'm with that.
But what we can't do is get sidetracked about why people are saying, "Hey, man, I can't join your group." Well, your group is gonna fail. No.
No one said that at all, boy.
I don't know. I don't know. It
He
sounds like
virtually
what I heard.
said it's like ISIS.
Basically said, yeah, it's like your group is ISIS. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I've been
I
caught a
forgot about
criminal all my life. You
that.
see what I'm saying?
I deliberately
Don't give a
stayed
fuck
on mute
about
when he said that. I deliberately stayed on mute when he said that because that was crazy. Like, how on earth is it like ISIS?
He gave his
that
comparison.
was a mad reach. It was a mad reach. He even realized it in his explanation, car.
I expected him to say that. To be
I don't even understand why y'all would stay on mute though. Why would y'all stay on mute and let him get away with that though?
Nah, because
comfy.
people are capable of defending and speaking, and I know that a day will come when I get my chance to speak as well. So it's not always, as a moderator and the host, it's not always jump feet first in to every conversation. I mean, yeah, this is what I think. Sometimes Kel had it. You get me? Kel had it. It's part of the entertainment.
Yeah. I expect non-African people to use certain types of languages to water down blueprints of our liberation. They will use things like, as what the guy said, ISIS, things as what Hitler's right hand man says, Joseph Goebbels, who taught Hitler political science to oppress the Jews and that.
Yeah, that's Goebbels.
Wait, hold on.
I thought it was
Isn't it
Nietzsche.
Goebbels?
I thought it was Nietzsche.
Yeah.
I say Goebbels.
Yeah.
I don't know what Goebbels was, but yeah.
I'm not German. Like,
I know. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Watch them propose each other. Sorry, my bad.
If you understand the German language, big up to you, brother. Yeah,
They're
Joseph
Goebbels
Goebbels.
each other, man. They're my Goebbels.
Yeah. He says accuse the opposition what you're guilty of. So I'm not
You're
surprised.
quoting Goebbels, yeah? Mad thing.
Would use types of rhetoric.
If there's certain Africans that are unsynchronized, that he would
That
have
is unsynchronized, bro.
They'll be taken out.
Oh shit! He's drawing for the
The
trump
reason, okay, maybe
You say
ISIS is a reach. That's
Who
debatable.
said they'll be taken out though?
But the Nazi party ain't mad.
Yeah, Kale has literally said that they'll be taken out.
So I mean,
and we should be prepared for loss of life.
I'd just like to say one thing, and that is that brother Rehan is using a strategy of during a verbal conflict. Hold on, brother. I have a right to explain to my African family, brother, what you're doing. During verbal conflict, invoke emotional reaction of words and trickery to cause confusion and division so you can lose hope. Just to let everyone know. But go on, brother.
So hold on, Rayhan, are you and Goebbels related? I mean, Gerbil related?
Huh?
Come on, man. Don't waste your mind.
I'm joking. Love me now. All right, go on, Rayhan. Sorry, bro. Sorry. I'm just trying to make the conversation a bit more light-minded.
Yeah, I hear that. But don't
Tensions in
waste
the
your
air,
mind,
you can feel it.
You could contribute better than that. I believe in you, Schiffer.
But go ahead, Rayhan. How does he want to kill Africans again?
Unsynchronized Africans. Did he not say that he will take them out?
Yeah, he did say that.
I think you've been on the panel when he said it as well. You know, he said that.
What do you mean by that, Kel? Explain, because I think you did say something about emotion
I will explain it this way. Unsynchronized Africans helped Nat Turner to be killed, helped Gabriel Prosser to be killed, helped Malcolm X to be assassinated.
That's right.
Dr. Martin Luther King as well. Unsynchronized Africans led for the Honorable Marcus Garvey to be deported, Mega Evans, and the list goes on. Unsynchronized Africans, right? Oh, and as well as sabotaging Nimamba Izikwane, a Nigerian Pan-African hero of mine. They are a waste of creation, right? They are the lowest of the. I have no love or respect for them. The fact that you want to go against the best interests of your people when non-African people are torturing us, oppressing us all day long, and you want to help them with that, you are unsynchronized. And when we get our power back, if you do not conform to a Pan-Africanist system as it pertains to liberating that people, you can have your religion. I don't have an issue with that. But as long as you're making sure things are kept in place with the defense mechanism of Pan-Africanism, and you choose to use the European mindset, you're going to have to leave the continent. And then, of course, you're going to have some to go with you to these places, because I know you're probably going to formulate some more things, or you're going to be exterminated. and I've said it.
So,
Exterminate.
Kel, let me just say this though. You see when you're saying
Kel, let him say it in
those
something he
examples.
understands.
Before you go
game.
there, Nay, yeah, just can I just say to you, bro, that it's my opinion that Brother Kel is very liberal with the label unsynchronized, and you can get hit with that bullet at any moment, bro. Yeah,
No, that's
not you personally.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just saying. So when Brother Kel says unsynchronized, and we criticized him for saying that unsynchronized will be exterminated, it's because of how liberally he uses the term unsynchronized. Feel like everyone caught that bullet at some point. So when he's talking about exterminating unsynchronized Africans in Africa, and this brother can't even tell us where in Africa he's from. I'm just saying, this thing's.
But not only that, it's like with your thought process. One thing I say is that all the examples you gave, because when you say fucking, well, that term you use anyway, what was it, unsynchronized Africans? Yeah. It's a broad term, innit? So a man's cousin can end up in that category just because he ain't down with certain things. Do you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But my point is, it's like those examples you gave, I'd say those are infiltrators, bro. Those are people that signed up to do something and went against the grain. And by all means, them man there to be hung, drawn, and quartered, my brother. I'm fully with that. But when you're saying like unsynchronized, you're using the broad term. Do you feel me? Like those
and I think we need a better definition. We need a better definition because it's Farrakhan unsynchronized.
Be a part of the team.
Remember, Farrakhan's with the devil. He's with the white devil, so it's Farrakhan unsynchronized.
Hold on, bro.
Call them traitors then.
Allow me to finish, bro. Notice what I said. When we get our power back, you see, when we get our power back, right, and you're still using unsynchronized mindset after what we've done, you have to go. Now, when I say unsynchronization and that, right, this can be applied to me. You understand? It is a word to help our people understand that you're not sync the occurring of moving forward for our people. Do you understand? Whether it be in interracial relationship, whether it be permanent coalition with non-African people,
sorry, brother. Can I just clarify my question?
No, because I haven't finished.
I think you're going to miss my answer.
No, brother, I haven't finished, brother. I haven't finished, all due respect here. Anything that goes against the best interests of our liberation, brother, right? That's unsynchronized. That don't mean I'm going to go out there and because I understand psychologically, you can be a saboteur from the back of the mind and the front of the mind. I understand when it comes to some people, unwillingly, unknowingly, will use saboteur languages, unsynchronized languages, right? That could, disrupt the movement. They still have to be carefully watched, though. But there are those who do at the front of their mind, and they are the unsynchronized who know what they're doing. Both of them are very dangerous. But as I said, when we get our power back and there's still those displacements, you have to go.
That. So what? Because you said that at the beginning and you just said it again. What do you mean by get our power?
Do you know what? I know what you mean by get power back. I think it's more important question.
No. I want to know what he means by that because.
I've got a really important question for you, though, Kel.
So, Kel, is it once you have your own state, those that commit?
Let him answer the question because he said that he said once we get the power back. I want to know what that means, isn't it? What that looks like.
Getting the power back, brother, is the ability to dictate how African people should live their life, controlling their resources and trading one another the way how we want to, making sure the African woman is protected correctly, the African man and the children, having the control, brother, of dictating how we want to live on a synchronized way with no non-African people or unsynchronized African disrupting that. That's what I'm referring to, getting that power back. And that is definitely returning justice and equality back to the planet.
Can I ask a question now, Kel? Because I think that is a sufficient answer. But
that's more than a sufficient answer. Give thanks, my brother.
My question to you, Kel, is this now, yeah? Because obviously you made it very clear earlier on in the conversation. You said you've never planted your shovel in any woman that is not African. And as far as you're concerned, any African man that's not with an African woman is unsynchronized, unless he's with an unsynchronized African woman, in which case he could still be unsynchronized. But then if they're gonna be exterminated, does that mean that you are planning to exterminate Farrakhan once you get into power?
The thing is with this question here, what you're asking, brother, is that
and people like him who have, obviously partners from outside of the African country.
Brother, but Minister Farrakhan, brother, is married to an African woman, brother. You know what I mean? And that, in fact, when you understand the nation of Islam, brother,
the white woman the other day,
brother, can I finish, brother? All due respect to brother Shifa.
Right, let's go off of Farrakhan. Let's just deal with black men that are with white women. Are you going to exterminate?
You did ask about Farrakhan, though. Farrakhan, someone you can't do that.
If you can let me finish,
Farrakhan out of it.
You can't be disrespecting Farrakhan and just doing jumping substance.
You can't, brother.
You can't jump.
Can't, brother, man, because Minister Farrakhan and Minister Leo Muhammad, who also knows my relative, brother, these men have done good work for the community, brother. You cut them, man.
I've got a white woman, dog. He's unsynchronized.
Yeah, but brother, I understand, brother. You are a Hebrew Israelite. I get it, brother. And maybe there's something going against, because I know Minister Farrakhan is a Muslim. So I understand, brother, because you are a descendant of Jacob. It's gonna be
we're not doing that here.
It's still different,
women. Black men who are not with African women, will you be exterminating?
Yes. And the reason he's asking you that, Kel, he's with a non-African woman. So
I just want to know if I'm going to be exterminated.
It's nothing to do with Israelites. Listen, Kel, hey, Kel, he don't want to. Kel, he don't want to get exterminated. Kel.
Rich, silence yourself. Let him answer. It's a fair question. Let the man answer the question. Will you be planning to exterminate African men who are not with African women?
Exterminate me. Say, would you exterminate me? Because you're
you could put me in that category. So, and many others.
Brother Shifa, we already had a conversation about this when Brother Sniper done a brilliant presentation on the Sun women. We can't forget the Sun gorgeous women that he put on there on the Saturday. East, west, south. Unfortunately, there were some African women who are not, and we had a big debate about that. But with that being said, brother, you mentioned about your African descendant woman. I don't like to be personal, brother. And you said that. Do you want to talk about this, or you want me to stop?
No, I want a direct answer to my question, so I'm going to ask it one more time.
Let me explain it.
Because hold on, one second. We're being fair. We're talking to each other, not at each other. So I'm going to ask the question one more time, and I'm going to expect a direct answer. Otherwise, I'm just not even really listening. I'll be honest. My brain just goes numb at that point. I don't really hear a word of what's coming out your mouth. So I'm going to ask a very direct question. Can I have a very conclusive, direct answer? Will you be looking, if you get into power, to exterminate black men who are not with black women? Simple question.
And is Kel going to do the extermination?
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask if he's going to do it.
The answer to that is no.
Thank you, brother. That was as simple as answer as you could give, and I appreciate your answer. Now we can move on. That was my only question.
Well, let's ask this question. Would Rayhan, right? Would Rayhan be exterminated? That's what Rayhan want to know.
Here's the thing, brother, and this has to be explained very delicately, of course. Brother Bon, you do understand when you get your power back, those who want to be synchronized, you're going to get unsynchronized Africans fighting against you, and also non-African people as well. So because of that there, brother, and we know this is true, if Brother Rayhan was to fight against, right, unfortunately,
he got to go.
It is what it is, right? It is what it is, right? Because they understand, brother, that we organizing, they benefit of our subjugation. So someone had to take that role, and non-African people are not going to take that role, brother. So they will fight to the death, so they don't have to take that subjugation role.
So how is that different from when ISIS say, and I'm going to say this again, that there's certain Muslims that are not synchronized. They don't use that word, but they say they don't conform to our ideology, so they are kuffar. So we need to exterminate them. How is that different, Kel?
The difference is that African people are not fighting for religion, brother. We're not fighting for a sexual orientation behavior agenda. We're fighting to survive, brother. Non-African people, unfortunately, whether they are Muslims, Christians, following Judaism, Sikhism. No, brother.
Religion is just a term.
No. You asked the question, bro. You brought ISIS into it. You brought religion into it. So let me unravel.
It's not ideology.
No.
Ideology. I don't
consider them. ISIS is backed on religion, right?
Hold on.
But
Hold on, brother. Hold on. So because of this, hold on. Because of this, brother, we are not fighting. The way you understand it, brother, where's your discipline, brother? Right? Because of that, there now.
You can say what
is that. We're not fighting for what you're fighting for.
Any other extremist group.
Hold on, a black Muslim, brother, your white supremacy is activating, brother. It's activating, brother. It is activating.
Because we've got the same.
No, it's activating.
In Islam.
It's really activating.
And you're doing
Let
the
him
same.
land, Ray. Come on, Ray. Let him land,
brother Bon.
Landed in the first place.
Brother Bon. You know what it is, brother Bon? It hurts me when African descendants, right? They get unraveled and decoded by non-African. Do you know all non-African people are sensitive towards the truth? You don't even have to disrespect them personally. Just tell them the truth and watch how they act like they're being possessed. That's what you do.
People gonna be.
And I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black. I'm blacker than black, yo. Because I'm black and I'm back.
That's right. You don't have to tell them about insult their parents, insult their company. Just tell them the truth and watch how they wiggle and whine. And it's difficult for them. How dare you? You want to know why, brother Born? There's two things psychologically in that, right? A wise man once said, whenever mankind commit a sin, two traits show. The first thing, they feel guilt. The second thing, they don't want to expose. Don't ever disrespect non-African people personally. Just tell them the truth. Talk about how they have not helped African people historically, systematically. Talk the truth and watch how their code becomes evaporated.
It becomes deflection. It's deflection, and I'll call you ISIS. I'll call you racist. I'll call you a criminal. I'll call you these type of names. And you know what, Kel? You're right. You're right. Hold on, Raheem.
He's right.
Raheem, I got you, Raheem.
Exactly right.
It usually turns.
Even if you don't agree with Kel and what he's saying, like I've seen the same pattern. It doesn't matter, man. When black people get together, people do start throwing. Was it black identity extremist? Yep. This and that. Yeah. There's always an excuse. It just happens to be that you don't agree with some of Kel's rhetoric, but it's just going to be another black group and another black group and another black group. There's always something. There's always a thread to pick and a reason to liken them to some of the world's worst people. I've had it all. I've heard it.
The game,
the
perfect example was
like that. Like what? Yeah, you lot hate this. You lot remember, man's experienced a lot. So I'm gonna have to side with Kel on this and think, regardless of whether I agree or not,
I'm gonna tell you this, bro.
I can see that. Yeah, it's easy to all of a sudden liken him to ISIS. I'm not sure how.
Hey, Jess, go to the gang videos on Content Over Everything and read those comments, bro. That's all you need to know. I stand and Kel stands corrected once you read those comments.
So it's not his ideology.
Say again?
His ideology is not extreme.
Extreme? I feel like that word extreme is politically charged. And used to kind of look at people through a certain paradigm, right? If we go and break it down, a lot of what Kel says is logical and rational, and shouldn't actually be a problem to anybody that doesn't wish him harm or doesn't wish his people harm. Like there should be no issue with if you have an active issue with Pan-Africanism or the thought of black people working with each other to better themselves and liberate themselves, then that must mean that you're happy with their oppression. So then you're an enemy, and I don't think that makes you an extremist.
I think that, yeah, that's a bit of a reach, but I tell you why, yeah.
You can't be. It's not extreme to be black focused or to be African focused.
No, there's nothing.
The system of white supremacy. It's not extreme. And for what he's saying about unsynchronized people, well, I can't speak for him, but personally, from what I can decipher, he's talking about people that are actively trying to stop the liberation of people, and like, you know, you can't get in the way of liberation. You know how it goes. I don't call that extreme. You can't get in the way of the revolution, man. If the people want to have a revolution and determine the direction that they go in, and you're standing in front of them, and you're an enemy, innit? Like you're what they call an enemy of progress.
The reason why I can't relate it back to certain people within like the Islamic community is that they say the same rhetoric. They say that we're trying to cause an Islamic revolution. Whoever comes in the way, we're going to exterminate them. They're not Muslim, i.e., they're not synchronized.
Yeah, but they're listen, for the Muslims, they're under the impression that their book tells them that this is what they need to do, and they have moral high ground of what's right and wrong. We just talk about human rights.
Kel is saying the same. He's saying that Africa.
Brother, I made it perfectly clear, brother. We're not fighting for religion, brother. We're not fighting for religion. We're fighting to survive, brother. And this is what I tried to explain to African family. It's difficult for non-African people to show empathetic morals for African people.
You got to remember, you know, there's black Muslims, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this ain't about religion, and it can't be likened to religion, because this is for black Muslims, black Christians.
I don't think, though.
Black
I don't
atheists.
think. Sorry, go on, Jedi.
Go on, go for it.
I don't think it's being looked at through a lens of, because at first I did think of it from a spiritual point of view, but if we just take it at face value instead of looking at the motivations behind why one is called an extremist, you can then rationalize and say, saying that anyone who is showing an interest is somehow linked to an unsynchronized person, or if someone doesn't agree with the opinion that Kale has, or anyone who thinks like Kale has, is unsynchronized, you can see a similarity. It doesn't mean it's the same level of extremism, and I don't think I would call it extremism, but I think the sentiment is more that how can I put it? Sentiment is more that you're looking at things in a very black and white style when things are very grey. If you want success and you want progress, you will have to have them relationships. And what I find personally, a lot of what when Kale says stuff, it doesn't sound like relationship building is on the agenda. It sounds very much it's this or that. There is no in the middle. There is no understanding the other side. There is not. Everyone is one side and everyone is the other. That's how it comes across to me personally.
The thing is,
right? Understand that in this world. Hold on 1 second. Let me just say something. You understand that in this world, this place we call Earth or whatever, there is no competent black army, black majority army, like that could possibly hope to deploy themselves to defend quote unquote black African Caribbean interests. You get that, right? When you look at the world, yeah, superpowers, whatever, you get that black people actually don't have an army. Individual countries, individual countries have military, but there is no NATO or you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I
get you.
Right.
On
So
the grand scheme of things,
just
100%.
shows you that
That's what
on-
I'm saying. Not everything Kale is saying is wrong or is
Yeah,
disagreeable.
so like, for
I do
instance, yeah,
agree
I
with a
just
lot of
feel,
it.
bro,
However, I
like,
don't see all white
I'll be
people
real with
as
you,
enemies, all Asian people
It'd be a lot
as
easier if people just let the black brothers and sisters do their black organizations and just do their thing, bro. It'd be a lot easier if people just got out the way. I know I bust jokes and do my thing and that, but sometimes when I listen, I'm just like, bro, there is no problem at all with black people trying to play catch up on a world stage where the rest of the world are already got
100%. Definitely, it's a must.
Yeah,
It's a
so
must.
I
I
don't know,
100%
man.
agree.
So what is it you're disagreeing with then?
Yeah, Raheem totally is unsynchronized.
So, as I said, for me, it's not everything is you are either for or against. There will be people who are not for the system and would rather have individuals who are not of our race, not of our culture, excel and will want to help that happen. But often the way it comes across when Kale is saying things is, nah, there's no such thing. You are, even when they are doing it, it's not for us. It's not that. And I agree, like when it comes to
No,
certain
you're
people,
confusing me, Raheem. You're
how
confusing me. I just like I don't know what you're saying, bro. I just don't even.
so Kale, so my understanding of what Kale will say is that anyone who is non-African will not support Africans improving. I would disagree with that. I think there are many people out there who want Africa to be independent. Who
All
want
right.
Africa
Are
to
there
grow.
enough? Wait. Are there enough people? Are there enough non-Africans that want Africans to be liberated and great to call it a majority?
No. I'm not saying it's a majority.
No,
And that's
I
why
never
it's
said. I
not
just
black and white.
asking. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's not a
are we
majority.
talking about individual? We're talking about individual cases, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Is it enough to acknowledge?
All support is enough to acknowledge, in my opinion.
No, I don't know. Not in this context. Yeah, is it enough? Because when we talk about the people, like for instance, oh man, hate to go into the past, but like for instance, if you do any movement, like calling the people out, rallying the people out in the past, not like this thing that happened the other day, but I've looked around and I've seen a lot of the black community out there. I haven't really seen a lot of the Arab community or the Asian community who equally have their share in this urban street culture, whatever was going on. And I didn't see a large amount of the white community, even though there were speckles there. But it wouldn't be enough for me to say, yeah, the white community's out here. We're here to get together. I would have said, yo, white community, you lot need to be coming out. Asians, there might have been 2 Asian men there. I'm still going to appeal if I got the camera or something. I'm going to appeal, yo, Asian community, where are you lot? You lot can't be seen. Not just, and that's not me saying that the 2 men ain't there, but when we're doing this game of percentages or whatever, that drop in the ocean ain't enough to allude to make it seem as if there is a presence when there's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with
in
that.
that respect,
However, a drop
when
can
we look at
cause a spill.
non-African participation in the liberation of Africa or Africans, truly, no, I don't really see much of that at all. Yeah, there's individuals.
I think
People are
that's because
married
there's
to
an
individuals,
equal.
they have partners, their friends, their family that are non-African, and they do their bit, and we know that. We're not going to not acknowledge that. I don't think Kel wants to highlight that because it's not enough, and I would agree it's not enough. So I wouldn't, like, from Kel's stance, I could see why it's not worth acknowledging, really. Yeah, there's individuals, you got your individual family ties and whatnot. Yeah, great, good luck to you. But on the whole, even when you check them out, how hard are they going for the cause? They ain't gonna go as hard as you.
Because I think there's an agenda to stifle that as well. I think that's where this comes from, and that's why I said a lot of this isn't
not even an agenda.
necessarily.
If people wanted to help, they would be fucking helping, bro. You see what they're like when
then
they
it goes into, like we were saying the other
when
day
they
about
when they
programming
feel something and they get together, they come out. You seen it, bro. If they give a fuck, they give a fuck, bro. They've got their excuses. he was a this, that is that, because of this, and they even use the excuse of, I don't think we'll be welcome. Everyone's got an excuse of why they ain't got up and done shit. They'll jump on a panel and ask you about what black people do here, black people do there, and then man will get slayed with it. Well, what have you done? Certain man will say they've built a well, and certain man will be like, well, it's not really about what I've done. I've got black friends, and I've got black. My niece is black, my wife is black, whatever. They ain't really done shit like that, innit? The average black man ain't done shit like that. You get me? So you can always catch them out on that technicality. A lot of people chat about things that they ain't put no work, they ain't rolled up their sleeves and got involved in. That's fact.
Yeah,
people need to be aware of that. Well. You could check yourself, like, right, why haven't I been involved? Because I don't really care. Then just tell the truth. Yo, I don't care as much as maybe I could or should, because I'm not that empathetic to what I want for black people, because it's a standard. Yeah. Whinge. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I was fuckery. Yeah, cool. But really, I'm not moved in an empathetic way to get up and do anything.
Is it not fair to say that most people don't care?
I'll go on a protest. When the system says it's okay, I'll go on a protest, and maybe because I got light-skinned youths, I might join the board of something, and help, and you know what I mean, help out and rare. And you know, my friend fucking Bookie, lovely lady, and I do stuff with her, and you know, I send some stuff back to her and her family in Africa, whatever. There's individual things, but on a whole, like I said, even black people can't even really answer that question. So you know what I'm going for non-Africans, quote unquote, using Carol's lingo. You know what I'm going for them. The majority of black people ain't done that. And yeah, there's loads of white people that have done more than black folk. And you got to give thanks, and then at the same time say, yeah, it's mad, yeah. Hold on. You give thanks, but at the same time, you also got to calculate how they got the opportunity to be able to be so generous, right?
Yeah.
And often that leads back a thread down to, you know, the disadvantages that other people have versus the advantages that others have in a certain society. It's not an excuse, but yeah. I don't believe in the rag to riches, from nothing to billionaire. That's not allowed. You have to be part of a club. I lie, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Nah, I hear where you're coming from.
Talent beats everything. Yeah, nah, you don't. You know, talent ain't enough. We've seen it time and time again. Do you know? I know all of you must have met some incredibly talented people, scary talented. I've seen artists, musicians, mathematicians, just people just with some crazy talent. Like, what? How the fuck did you do that? You can do what? You know how to, you know this many languages, you know this, you can do this. Oh, you can sing, you can dance, you can body pop, you can fucking paint, you can draw, you can do this. Oh, you can assemble cars, you can take guns apart and put them back together. You remember numbers, you just look at shit and all in one person. But yeah, you ain't, you get me?
It's talent without hard
You ain't shook the right hands. You ain't shook the right hands. That's what it is. You ain't shook the right hands. You ain't met the right. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That means a lot. It's not just
always, definitely.
Take that as a multi-layered statement.
No, it's about turning up as well, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And being at there, just being there, just like turn up day after day, even if you don't get.
You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah,
you got to be in it to win it. Yeah, man. I believe in that too, but that's not all.
Because I know people who are successful without handshakes.
Yeah. But they have a certain default, which means that there'll never be an issue, so they don't need the handshakes.
Possibly, true.
Because they'll never utilize their wealth or their ability or their reach or whatever to ever go against the handshakers. So and you need people like that to hide the fact that you need handshakers to actually make it and be successful. You need people like that. Like, you know what I mean? Not everybody is part of the thing. You know how it goes, man. It's smoke and mirrors, man. I can't explain it to you. You could tell us.
He's not allowed to. I hear where you're coming from. I think, and yeah, you've raised some valid points. I do think, though, we underestimate the power of allegiances and alliances, and
what we do is underestimate our powers of ourselves. And the allegiances and alliances is great, man. It's all great.
Definitely.
It's great, but we're in the locker room as us, right? And we're like, yo, we need to be able to get it together. We need to be able to pass the ball. We need it to be able to create space, create plays, right? Do you know what I mean? You need to keep your fucking head up when you're on the pitch to see, man. Yeah. We need to get our marking on point. Remember our formation, boom, boom, boom. The drills. We need to get the drills. We need to get the training in.
Not 100%.
We're not even, and that's the issue. We think about bringing in international players and shit. That's all great. Yeah, we know they can bang.
Yeah, but we haven't sorted out the home. I get that.
It's like the reggae boys saying, "Yo, let's get Ronaldo in." Ah, man.
But
let's get our training facilities. Let's get our training facilities and our football culture and even the want for the game. Let's get our marketing and all of that up, sponsorships and all of that, so we can actually go into the ghettos and find those talented people that we're talking about. But real talented people that are not who are not part of that flock just won't go nowhere. That's just what it is. It is what it is. You're not part of that flock. It is.
I think so. I've said it once or twice before. It's not something I frequent. I think that if it comes down to it, as a people, we need a completely different political structure in order to operate successfully. But I understand the message behind Pan-Africanism, but for the same reason why I don't agree with BLM is the same reason why I won't agree with Pan-Africanism, because it's funded through white people.
You understand why we don't have you know why we don't have Pan-Asianism, innit?
Go on.
But do you know why?
I'm asking. I could have my own thoughts as to why. But
what's your thoughts as to why?
So it'd be that they are already collective. They are already nationalized or collective in themselves. A Chinaman will always be loyal to China. An Indian will always be loyal to India.
Guess what? Those two places you named, they both got outstanding army.
Very true. Massive, and they're growing as players.
Then we look at Africa. It's different.
But also we have to understand also that these are individuals as well. They're countries. Africa's a continent, the largest continent in the world, the largest place on earth. It's not going to be an easy feat in order to unite everyone.
You know how many billion people are in China?
Especially when I almost feel like the movement removes that identity which we should be proud of. The individual identity, that we should be proud of.
I hear you, bro. I've tried to play my advocate. I'm a good advocate still.
Is Asia really together when Pakistan and India want to nuke each other?
Yeah, but that's why I said this. You guys are individuals. As much as it's not Asia. Asia doesn't have a massive army.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that wasn't the argument. The question was, do you know why there's not a Pan-Asia movement?
Why?
Because they don't feel like they have the need for one.
That's true. They must not feel like they need to.
To be honest, I feel like there's two.
They have the need for one because India is India, Pakistan is Pakistan, China is China, and they
there's two concepts of Pan-Africanism.
But
I feel like there's two concepts of Pan-Africanism. Like there's the European version or the diasporan version, and then there's the actual African version. And what I mean by that is if you talk about Pan-Africanism in Africa on the continent today, things are actually happening in regards to countries, armies, things are unifying. They're actually trying to put things in place to make travel a lot easier throughout the continent for Africans. That's Pan-Africanism.
Ain't no armies unifying though. You got to correct that. What armies?
No, when I say armies unifying, yeah, that's the wrong words to say. But like, armies are supporting each other's countries, innit? For whatever reasons, man are keeping things internal, innit? Like, I don't know whether it's for the better or for the worse, but things are internal, and that's African. That's Pan-Africanism. But anyways, my point is, then you've got this. I don't know, like, I'd say diasporan version, where there's a lot of people that, don't get me wrong, not all, but there's a lot of people that just like to speak on Pan-Africanism and black people and leaders and things, and ain't really actually doing anything to further what's actually happening on the continent today. But that's just my input. Apologies. My man made a whole stream go quiet and that.
Yeah, don't apologize, man. I kind of agree with the point though that what was said before. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see a problem with black people, like you said, trying to catch up in the world where, you know, there's so many other world powers out there, but there ain't a black one. And I think that it would be a travesty if we allowed ourselves to be usurped by anyone, you know, within that power structure, is what I'm trying to say, or allowing other people in. Because as far as China's concerned, they don't let black people into their power structure, do they? We can't go and ask them their plans for the future. They ain't telling us nothing. Their thing's top secret unless you Chinese. So I think that, you know, I think that's fair. It's only fair. Can't argue with it.
Yeah, I'm jumping off, man. I gotta get ready for work in the morning.
Yeah,
but big up,
both.
Big conversation. Yeah, big up everyone, and yeah, tomorrow, innit?
Yeah, big up.
All right,
big up, man. Bless, man. Yeah, I'm about to do one as well, you guys. I'm still listening though, if you're still running, but yeah, I've got the same kind of issues. So tomorrow's bless up.
Yeah.
Bless up.
Yeah, big up, fam. I got work to. Big up, brother Jedi. Or every time, brother. Big up the panel.
Big up.
Big up, man. I gotta go move this turtle around, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what time it is now.
Well, yeah, Rayhan, man. Stop hating on black people when black people trying to do black people shit, right?
Why would you even say that?
Yeah,
strong words, man. You're supposedly like the Islamic poster boy for the ladies in the chat and the Muslims around here. So I don't know what's going on.
No, hey, no what, man. I'm just learning, understanding. I appreciate the panel.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go drink some food, man.
No, big up, man. It was a good discussion. Obviously, big up Jedi. I like to have.
I'm on Rayhan all the time, man.
Yeah, no, big up, man, because much appreciated, man.
What you saying, Rayhan, though, man? What you doing? You getting uni and stuff?
No, I'm done with uni, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, you working, man, and that. Yeah, you got work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.